Are you thinking of making the move from California to Texas? Well, you're not alone, but make sure you watch the video all the way through before you book that plane ticket, because today we're counting down the top 5 things Californians wish they knew before moving to Texas. Number 1 might surprise you. Hello friends, and welcome to my channel where we talk about all things new construction here in Northeast DFW. I'm a realtor with almost a decade of experience on the builder side of things, and now I'm bringing that expertise to you. You've no doubt heard of the massive California to Texas migration, and there are a lot of great reasons to move here. We've got a lower cost of living, better job opportunities, vibrant cities, sparkling suburbs, and charming small towns. Texas has a rich and varied culture, and there's a ton of new construction and development around Dallas-Fort Worth especially. So you tend to find a lot of shiny and new areas that just feel really nice and exciting to be in. We experience all 4 seasons, but get very little snow, maybe once or twice a year, and there's no state income tax. Housing is also still way more affordable than Cali, although we have seen a big change in average home prices since the crazy demand surge of 2020 and 2021. We do also have a little bit higher property taxes. At time of recording, the average home price in DFW is around $380,000 versus about $970,000 in the Los Angeles area. Lastly, the overall cost of living in Texas is about 6% lower than the rest of the US, compared to a 50% higher average cost of living in California. All that being said, it's not all Tex-Mex and bluebonnets. So let's count down those top 5 reasons why you may not want to relocate to Texas. Starting us off with reason number 5, Texas politics. We're gonna keep this part very objective, but it's no secret that Texas is a pretty red state. There are pockets of blue in the major cities, but for the most part, you're gonna find a lot of very vocal conservatives here. Whether it's billboards or neighborhood Facebook groups, politics are pretty inescapable. And regardless of your political leanings, sometimes it can feel a little isolating to be surrounded by people who don't share your worldview. I'm not going to spend much time elaborating on this, but if you're leaving California to get away from the politics there, then you don't need to worry about this one. Number 4 on the list is Texas beaches. Technically, we do still have beaches here, but as a DFW native, I can honestly say I've never been to any of the Gulf Coast beaches. I've always heard from other people that they're not the cleanest or most picturesque, and that it's just not worth the 5 to 8 hour drive. Apparently, you can also surf down there, but as far as I know, it's not really a big thing. What is a big thing down here is lake life, and as of the last couple years, lagoons. People love taking their boats and jet skis out on the lake in the summer, and it's good tunes, cold drinks, maybe some kneeboarding or water skiing if you're feeling adventurous. Down in central Texas, people like to float the river, which is where you chill out in an inner tube and, well, float down the river. It's about a 3-hour drive from here and can make a fun weekend getaway. Lagoons are something that we're seeing more and more of in these new master planned communities, and some of them are also open to the public. We're getting one here in Anna in the Anna Capri development, and it's going to feature a 60-foot tall water slide tower, white sand beaches, a flow rider surf machine, swim up bar, cabanas, and more. I'm definitely going to be doing multiple videos in the future on this development, so don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss those. Which, by the way, if you're finding value in this video, could you please do me a huge favor by giving it a thumbs up? Brownie points if you leave a comment. It really helps me grow this channel so I can help more people like you. Thanks so much, and back to the video. Number 3 on the list is Texas summers. This one will likely surprise no one, but Texas heat is no joke. We get a lot of triple-digit days in the summer, and unless you're in the water or in the shade, you really don't want to be outside during the day. The fall and spring are pretty nice, if not a little bit indecisive. Just when you start enjoying the nice temps in the 70s, you get another heat wave in the 90s. Allergies in the spring and fall are also no joke here, so don't forget your Claritin. One good thing about living somewhere that gets so hot is that everywhere has air conditioning. It's not so much a luxury here as a necessity. If you want an insider pro tip, make sure you get yourself one of those reflective windshield shades. They are seriously a must-have If you don't enjoy searing the backs of your legs on your black leather seats, or that super fun thing where the sweat between your legs and the seat dries as the car cools down, and then you have to peel your skin off when it's time to get out. Not sponsored, you can thank me later. That brings us to number 2 on our list, Texas storms. A lot of people who move here from other parts of the country have no idea what's going on when the sky gets green and the storm sirens start to go off. Hopefully, the emergency alerts on your phone will clue you in, but it means a tornado could be coming and it's time to take shelter. Designate a small room on the lowest level of your house, away from windows and outside walls if possible. Under the stair closets tend to make really good spots, as do bathtubs. Unlike earthquakes, which can affect every home in the area, tornadoes are a bit more hit or miss. They might destroy the house across the street from you, but leave you with relatively minor damage. The worst I've ever personally dealt with is some downed branches, overturned patio furniture, and damaged shingles and fencing. My dad had his neighbor's shed blow over into his yard during a recent storm and actually heard that freight train noise that people say tornadoes sound like for the first time in his life. It's not anything to take lightly, and sheltering in place can be a scary experience. That being said, even violent tornadoes have a 99% survival rate. Look up some precautionary tips and have a plan in place before the sirens go off. And that brings us to number 1 on our list, Texas critters. Okay, so I actually have 2 friends who moved here from California a few years ago, and I asked them both what would be on this list for them. They love it here, but there's always some things to get used to when you move to a new part of the world. My friend Victoria was immediately like, bugs, all caps. And I laughed because while I'm used to them from living here my whole life, they're definitely still a pain to deal with. Mosquitoes are the most ubiquitous, and as soon as the weather starts heating up, they come out to play. And by play, I mean suck your blood and leave you covered in welts that itch like hell. They're the worst around dawn and twilight, so if you're trying to enjoy the great outdoors, don't forget the bug spray and citronella candles. Another Texas pest is the chigger, which I've actually never had a problem with for whatever reason, knock on wood. But they're a little mite that live in grassy or wooded areas near the water, and their bites can cause severe itching that looks like a rash for 24 to 48 hours. We've also got some deadly snakes here, including rattlesnakes, copperheads, and water moccasins. I've seen some copperheads while out hiking, but never a rattler, as we say. Snakes definitely freak me out, but I've luckily had very few encounters in my life and never been bitten. There's an honorable mention on the list from my friend Shelby, who mentioned that one of the biggest adjustments for her is how spread out everything is here. She said that California is much more urbanized, and especially in the newly developing suburb that we live in, you often have to drive 1 or 2 towns over to go get things. Beyond that, you can drive for 12 hours border to border and still be in Texas. It's just a massive state, and a lot of it is still countryside. That also means that there's a ton of variety and natural beauty here, like the pine forests of East Texas, Palo Duro Canyon in the Panhandle, which has been nicknamed the Grand Canyon of Texas, Big Bend National Park near the border, and one of my favorites, Hill Country in Central Texas, which has been dubbed the Napa Valley of Texas. If you've gone through this video and you think, these issues are really not that bad to me, there's no deal breakers here, well then I'd love to help guide you through the process of finding and closing on your new Texas home. I specialize in new construction homes in and around Anna, Texas, a Dallas suburb that's one of the fastest growing cities in the country. We can start with a free 30-minute Zoom consultation, which you can easily schedule with the Calendly link in the description of this video. And if you want to know more about living in Anna, Texas, then check out this video next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!